Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born will die before the sin. Chocolate rain. Build a tent and say the world is dry. Chocolate rain. Zoom the camera out and see the light. Chocolate rain. Forecast to be falling yesterday. Chocolate rain. Only in the past is what they say.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, what is up, homies? This is Phreak. I'm bringing you an audio commentary for WCReplays.com. Additionally, this is on Orc vs. Human on Total Rock, and not usually an easy map for Orc, but it's Lyn, so, For what it's worth, Lyn is probably the best Orc player in the world. Most would agree. Fanboys would say grubby, but those people are idiots. So, Lyn. Let's get this to the 1 minute mark at the 1x speed. Lyn's point of view. Fog of War on or off doesn't really matter. I'll probably reference the things the human is doing as well, so it's not going to matter so much. But I am at the 1 minute mark of the 1x speed from Lyn's point of view. You should be as well. So there's that. If for some reason I give you the wrong game, it's from WC3, SK vs MTW. Find Lyn vs Rainbow, and you're in good shape. Okay. So now I'm going to assume you're there. If you're not, too bad. Pause this commentary, get yourself there on your own without me holding your hand, and then we'll go for it. So, 1x speed, 1 minute mark, Lyn's POV, unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, so he's got the 5 on gold. I mean, you saw the initial build order. There's nothing special going on. Altar and Burrow, they finish at the same time. He makes a Blade Master. Wonderful. How exciting. You play Orc. Congratulations. Queuing up peons. Notice he's queuing up to 16 food worth of peons, and he's also scouting with his altar guy. He's at 30. Now, what good Orc players do, such as myself, is they count how many chops each peon does. As soon as you return to 30, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then PAH! And you press your return key, and they go in, and you've got, your 10 lumber, or 11 in this case, and you can say it out loud if you really want to, it doesn't really matter, but you start that burrow. Now, a couple things to notice. He's making his base with lots of room in it. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. First of all, footmen can get through any freaking crack they want to. You can't block footmen out of your base, so don't try. The Archmage is ranged, so it doesn't really matter if he can walk through or not. He's not going to walk through, so F that. However, Blade Masters and Grunts are melee and fat bitches. They need to walk through stuff sometimes. So he wind walks up. Notice he casts the wind walk basically once he got out of the altar, because he spends the 75 mana and then starts regenerating. Basically, it means he's going to have more mana overall, and nice item drop, by the way. But it means he's going to have more mana overall because he's regenerating sooner. Now that Voodoo Lounge really could have gone up a lot freaking sooner. Yeah, but whatever. Now I think Rainbow is doing probably two things here. Now if you turned off Fog of War, you'd notice he did a freaking fast level 2 creep pattern, like really freaking fast. And notice he tries to jack the water metal, can't do it. Goes for the other one though instead. Waits for the trolls to hit it, jacks it, gets the EXP, hits the troll, nicely done there. 162 experience. But here's the Archmage going for his burrow. Now he keeps the grunts in his base to chase away the Archmage as best he can. Honestly, if he played it well right there, he could have completely blocked the Archmage off and forced a TP pretty quickly, but whatever. Now Rainbow is doing just a quick 3 farm tech. Thus, the Blade Master gets to go in and right-click stuff. Now, really, the buying of the circlet actually helps him a ton. It gives him enough mana to windwalk 1 or 2 more times. It gives him enough HP to, survive and kill stuff for a while. And the +2 damage does add up after a while. So he goes for that low footman. He's going to keep going for that. Basically, because if he goes for peasants, he might get some. But they'll call militia and they'll be hard to kill. But if he can chase away these footmen, it'll be one less unit that's going to basically do damage to him as he's trying to chase down the peasants later on. Notice that footman is now in hold position forever. And he's going to chop down this peasant. By the way, notice that it died really quickly. He would not have killed it without the circular ability for his damage. Now he wouldn't kill it without the slippers either, so item luck as well. But still, chops down the footman. Again, he killed it because of his items. True story. Kills another peasant again. The items really are helping him kill these units. They're dying in basically 1 less chop than they otherwise would. 51 HP, 17. Okay, that one was just whatever. But gets the Windwalk off. Basically, because the circlet adds armor and HP, he probably would have maybe not been able to Windwalk away from that right there. He got the extra peasant kill because of that, and you know, really that stuff adds up. It really does. So he's adding up his Voodoo Lounge once more. Gets out of the burrow, because duh. But he really needs that shop now, because his Blade Master is pretty low. He can't go for boots because he doesn't have Windwalk mana. Even though he might want boots, the Archmage is right there. He doesn't have Windwalk in, plus the Archmage stole the boots. So, you know, either way, not really worth trying that. So the AM's running around, focusing grunts as best he can, doing some damage. His Voodoo Lounge going up slowly, whatever. Oh, here comes the Archmage and another Water Mental, going for, you guessed it, the Voodoo Lounge with Claws of Attack +6. Fun. So he goes for the Archmage. He has another Windwalk, so he's not too worried about getting killed. Voodoo Lounge taking tons of damage. Archmage basically is going to try to staff out. He should do it right now. Let's see if he does it. Staff. Actually, he's trying to run away for a little bit, and then realizes, oh, I'm an idiot. I got blocked off by that peon. Nicely done, by the way, with the peon block. That's a lot of foresight right there for the Orc player. Setting up his Voodoo Lounge for probably the 5th time. Hits Stronghold. Now, because of all the Voodoo Lounge, like building and cancellings and whatnot, he's, you know, doesn't have a ton of money. His wood's pretty shit, for the most part. He can get a Bestiary and an Altar of Storms. You know, he can't get the Grunt upgrade or the Spirit Lodge, which normally you'd be able to do. Now, right now you'd be thinking, wow, he must be completely effed. His hero has no HP, there's already a Beastmaster in his base. Now, you might have been wondering, why didn't Rainbow get a tower? Because he's doing a fast tech. He's already tier 2 with his Beastmaster, and this guy doesn't even have his, you know, his second hero yet, or his tier 2 buildings up or anything. He's already in his base focusing his stuff down. Voodoo Lounge goes down, I don't believe he cancelled. And so he's got to figure out how he's going to win this. Now the Archmage was already knocked down really low on HP, so he's got to be careful for the rest of the game, or at least until he can heal it with the AM. That helps him a lot, because otherwise the AM would be in this battle doing damage, summoning Water Mentals, and lending Brilliant Soul to the Beastmaster. However, he sees an AM, and he's got, hey, you know, Hex, and he's going to chase that down as best he can. He's going to get another Hex off in a second. There we go, and there's the damage output. Peace, you lost your Archmage. Okay, so you'll notice basically what happened here is he just ran away from the army. He did not fight. Nice surround by Rainbow, by the way. That was very good. He basically ran away from his opponent's army until he got Hex up, and then once he did, he went for the right click on the hero. Now, this is kind of irresponsible of Lyn, because he doesn't have the block on the Beastmaster. He won't be able to kill it with Hex. And right now, he could be killing Footman. Now, thankfully for Rainbow, because, well, actually, thankfully for Rain, because Rainbow's wood sucks so much from killing all those peasants earlier and from doing that fast tech and all that, he doesn't have a lot of wood, so he doesn't have defend for the Footman. He chops one down pretty quickly to the burrow, but another one's going to die right here, most likely. Yep, down it goes. So he lost, you know, a shop like 8 times. You know, he lost a grunt and he lost a burrow. He's in bad shape. Now Lyn realizes, wow, my wood sucks ass. I'm going to build a war mill because it helps me get wood back on shape. Because he lost 2 peons to those footmen right there. You know, his wood obviously is terrible. Plus, he has nowhere to spend gold on because, well, he doesn't even have a shop. He doesn't have the wood for it. He should probably build one now, though. And because he has no farms, or burrows in this case, he can't make any units. He could probably go for Boots of Speed at some point, but that's kind of a small matter. You know, he has gold to spend, so, yeah, get the war mill. But right-click on Footman is thanks. He's going to chop that down. Nice crit there. Wind walks away, doesn't want to take unnecessary damage since he doesn't have a freaking shop. Finally builds it now. I would say that's a little bit late because he could have built it probably 20 seconds ago. But he put up the burrow first, which is probably more important. So here he goes for the boots finally. No, actually, Healing Scroll, I take that back, which is very useful. You always want to try to jack the Healing Scrolls from your opponent, especially humans who are like in love with towers, which, you know, all humans are. So because this human does not have a TP, he quickly, in the duration of Hex and Ensnare, positions his grunts for the surround. Very good micro there. Tries to use the potion but can't do it. It really wouldn't have mattered though, I don't think. He tries to block the Beastmaster a little bit. Does get the Ensnare block though. He loses a grunt in the process though, so it's getting kind of hazy for him. He should probably go for some Sorks at this point. They're probably easier kills. So indeed he turns around. He's going to go right click one of these Sorks. I think he's waiting for Ensnare to come up. Really, I think it could, I guess because Militia is showing up, it's probably better that he runs away. Now you'll notice that, you know, he's got slowed units and Militia are showing up. He's going to lose another grunt really quick. He's going to probably try to deny it. Doesn't get it though. Beastmaster gets level 2 from doing that. The Blade Master is keeping, you know, continually chasing it down. He already used the Healing Scroll, which kind of surprised me, but it was to keep his heroes and units alive for as long as possible.